Because the bigger you play, the bigger you win. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. You are required to sell at a higher level if you want to get to a higher level. And the deal is, this is where courage is required. Welcome to Raise Your Game. This is episode number 4 of 12. I'm excited about this series and I'm excited about today's episode. Today, I want to give you 3 ways to lean into courage while selling. And I'll talk a little bit more about this, but all 3 of these things will require you to anchor new beliefs about selling. And that's where the courage comes in. Sometimes we think we got it, like we got the sales thing licked, and then we are wondering why we're stuck and hovering around the same income level. A lot of times there's some internal dialogue going on under the surface. But before we do that, what I want to do, let me move my microphone a little bit closer. What I want to do is invite you to join us for Game On Live event. There's still a few seats left. And I feel so strongly about this year being the first year we're back live and in person since 2019 about the transformation that's going to happen in the room, because I believe that exponential transformation happens when people come together, moving together, all towards a similar goal and outcome. You've heard that saying, a rising tide lifts all ships. You won't be able to walk into that room and leave the same person that you came as. So go to Game On Live event, buy your ticket to Game On Live, and there's 3 levels for this experience, or 3 levels of the experience of Game On Live. So you get to choose your level of engagement. There's basic, there's VIP, and there's savage. I'm going to tell you how they work really quickly, and then we're going to jump into today's content. So basic is 3 full days access to this business altering event, this life altering event. It is truly a transformational experience where we're going to go deep into your $1 million identity, basically who you be, your $1 million strategy, basically how you create a business that creates millions of dollars in the most simplified way, the most uncomplicated way, the less stressless way. We're also going to go deep into $1 million legacy, not only how to make more money, but how to keep it and multiply it. That's a super important part. So you'll get all 3 days of business training at the basic level. At the VIP level, that gets you special treatment. So you get special seating, you get special access, you get access to a masquerade themed VIP only welcome reception, which I'm really excited about. We're calling it the Grown and Wealthy Masquerade Reception, Masquerade Ball. VIP networking opportunities where you get to rub elbows with people who are doing millions, making millions, or on their way to millions. That's the place you want to be. Gorgeously catered lunches that we are putting together for you each and every day. And if you want that type of experience, you want to upgrade for that experience. And then we have Savage. So Savage is for the truly savage CEO, where ease is just your way of life. We basically handle everything for you. All you got to do is get yourself there. We get you to and from the airports. We have enter your transport, your room. There's no lines for you. Your registration is handled. You get a personal event concierge. It's an incredible experience for those who choose to live in that way. Unfortunately, but fortunately for us, Savage is sold out, but VIP is still available. So next year, you want to get on that list to get on Savage early. Again, if you want to join us in the room, go to GameOnLiveEvent.com. There are still a few seats available. I will tell you this as I get myself ready to share what I want to share today, because I think it's super powerful. If you're ready for an upgrade and a breakthrough in business, because you're leaning into a level of possibility, a level of growing and building your business that you've never experienced before, Game On Live was created for you. So get yourself in the room, okay? Quick introduction for those of you who don't know me. I am Shameca Tankerson. You might be new to me or finding this video somewhere and you're like, who's this chick with this blue afro and these crazy glasses? I'm Shameca Tankerson, founder and CEO of Shameca International. We are an Inc. 500 recognized company that has rapidly grown over 1,834% in the last 3 years using the strategies and methods that we actually teach: identity recoding, rapid transformation method, and the 100K month method. We use our own strategies, the same ones we use to build our business to millions, are the same strategies that we teach our clients to use. And our clients come to us when they want to take their business revenue from six figures a year to six-figure months fast, right? They want to accomplish money and life goals that most people only dream about. Bottom line, our methodology empowers entrepreneurs to make money faster and achieve impossible goals. If this is your first time joining, or you're watching me live, or you're watching on the replay, whether you're listening live or on the replay, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. In the comments, tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm really grateful that you're here. So I want to get into this for today. So let's jump into it. Last week, we tackled the courage to uplevel your pricing. If you missed that one, make sure you go back and watch it, because this series has just been really powerful every step of the way. Again, this is episode 4. And as we continue these powerful conversations around courage, which I want to be clear, you know, people will often ask me about strategy and how did I get here? And I just want you to know that courage has been the secret sauce for me. It is the thing that I realized that I unlocked that allowed me to get to the next level, the next level. Literally, my income was doubling year over year, over year, over year, over year, until we hit the tune of millions. Then we did $1 million in a month. Then we followed that up with $1 million in a day. It's been insane. And courage has been the through line for all of it. And so I want to talk to you today about your courage to sell. So I have a client inside of my community who has been in my program for about 2 years, and she just recently sold her highest ticket price point ever. Now, she is incredible at what she does, but she struggled with selling her offers. I won't even say her high-end offer, because it's the same offer. She was just selling it for like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. She's now selling it for $55,000, right? And we're figuring out that it's probably a higher level investment than that. But she was struggling with it because, and to quote her, what she said is, "I never knew someone could value my business after seeing the messy parts of it," right? And what happens is we carry ourselves through everything that we've been through. So in our heads, we know all the mistakes that we've made. We know all the setbacks and disappointments that we have. We know all the things on the list that we have that we want to do to make the experience better, or that we want to have in our business that we haven't quite gotten to yet. And that makes us doubt. And the beautiful part about it is, the more courageous she got to just stand in her value, now she's consistently closing paid in full clients at all kinds of levels. And people are paying her top dollar to get access to the same genius that she was selling for minimal price points. So it's been really beautiful to watch her peel off these layers of owning her own value. Here's what I want you to understand is, when you see this level of growth or sales acceleration in my community, when I'm celebrating these wins, it comes from one thing and one thing only. It's that they step into their courage to sell more to more people at higher price points and more often, all of those things. And even if you think like, "I got this, Shameca, I don't have a sales problem," if that's the attitude you have right now, before you click off, before you turn this off, what I want you to understand is that if you've been unable to break through that income ceiling, hit that elusive 100K month, or break the $1 million mark in your business even, this is for you. This is specifically created for you. This is not just about people at all who don't know how to sell or who don't have clients. It's about into your next level of rise. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath. Take off your "I got this, I know all this already" attitude and mindset, and really just listen for that 2 millimeter distinction that can absolutely change the game for you. I've said this before, but I want to say it again because I think it's important for me to reiterate this. Every single time that something amazing has happened in my life and in my business, whether it was income goals, things that just have shown up and it seemed like serendipity, it was always preceded by drastic, courageous action. I've always been required to have a conversation with fear and tell it to sit down, have several seats in the way back, and shut the heck up. I actually did that today. I'm going to share something with you guys. I wasn't sure if I was going to share this, but I'm like, I'm actually going to out myself. So today, as soon as I get confirmation, um, I actually became part owner of a gold mine. I've been making all kinds of moves and trying to figure out how to take what we're creating and create a legacy for the future. And so I've been looking for opportunities. And what I know is that when you're doing something that you've never done before, or that no one in your life or family where you don't have examples, where you're the prototype, you're the leader, you're forging the path for everyone else, it gets scary when you're making decisions because you don't have an example of what it's supposed to look like or feel like to move through it. My first six-figure investment in a program was like that. It was scary. Now I know how to look at the return on investment and make those decisions, and I know what those feelings feel like when you're deciding to do it. I know what my return on investments have been, so I have an example in myself. I have an example in people who around me who have done it, but I didn't have it in the initial phase of doing it. So it was pretty scary, right? It was really, really scary. And so sitting on the helm of this investment and going, okay, every investment has their risk, right? But the truth is, this thing's going to change the game for me and my family for generations to come. What I want you to understand when it comes to your business is courage is required. And most of what you've been taught by people about what it takes to go from six figures a year to seven figures a year is not true. And those are the things that are keeping you stuck. It's those beliefs and thought patterns. It's how we see the world and making money in business. It's keeping you stuck right where you are. And so what I want you to do, again, is lean in and look for those 2 millimeter distinctions. Grab a pen and a journal, and let's have a real conversation about this, because this isn't about strategy. This isn't about what you need to do next. Listen, you are one smart cookie. You're brilliant, in fact, right? You can figure things out. You know things. You've invested in yourself. You've gotten yourself to where you are. However, where you're trying to go has been elusive to you. And this is where real talk comes in. So the guiding question for you today around this pillar, this courage pillar of sales and selling, is, do you have the courage to sell? Like, really sell? I want you to let that just sit with you. And I'm going to give you a 3-step framework for cultivating the courage to sell. Okay? Power play number 1. Write this down. Sell every day. Sell every day. Sell every day. Sell every day. You're like, nah, that doesn't work. Sell every day. Listen, I say this all the time. People are buying every day. You should be selling every day. Big companies sell every day. They don't have a problem sending me email after email after email after email, posting and posting and posting about their sales. Somehow we think that we have to do all this, give value. We have all these rules around when we can sell and when we have the right to sell. And I know that people teach you these things, and there is a portion of that that's true. But what happens is we take these rules and we make a prison of our own devising, and then it keeps us stuck. We think we got to send a 30-day email series before we can ask, or we have to show up and do a challenge or a crash course or a webinar and all of these things. I'm like, there's people who are just ready to buy. And you've been given value so much, you do have a percentage of people who would buy whatever it is that you're offering to them if you would just tell them what the heck it is. One of the ways that I see this show up, and this is why I love 75 hard so much, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but people are like, I'm going to do 75 medium. I'm going to do 75 soft. I'm like, it's not the same thing. That's the whole point. When I even look at people who say those things, it's because they've created these rules about how 75 hard is supposed to look based on their own perception. It's not even in the rules. There are guidelines for 75 hard, but they don't, just because it's called 75 hard doesn't mean you have to kill yourself. I heard people say it's so unhealthy to do that. It's bad for your body. And I'm like, in what way? Who said you had to go out there and go hard in the paint until you killed yourself? And this is how we build our businesses. So I believe that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I can tell a lot about how a person judges 75 hard, how they act while they're in 75 hard, what's happening in their business. We go hard in the paint, we kill ourselves, we got to take a break, right? There are so many people who I think are brilliant and they can't get past the first week at all because they can't find that level of consistency for themselves. They can't find, that stability, and it's because of self-imposed rules. I had a friend who is the most disciplined person I know. I don't remember what day he was getting to. I think it was like day 3. It was still within the first week, and he didn't make it. And one of the things he said, where I saw pattern recognition, was he said those evening workouts are what took me out of the game. And I was like, there's nowhere in the rules where it says your second workout had to be at night. It was a rule he made up. And because he was holding himself to that rule, that workout had to be in the evening, and it could have been because of his schedule, doesn't matter, but he was calling it an evening workout. Because he put himself in that position, he couldn't figure out how to make it work. Thus, he ended up failing, right? And so, like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I want you to think about this. You can sell every single day, right? How can I do this is what you want to ask yourself, instead of just saying that you can't do it because you think people are going to get annoyed by you. You think you're going to be making too many offers. People ask me, what's the ratio of how many posts I should do to how many sales posts I should do? There isn't any. And in order for you to be able to do this successfully, you have to understand how social works, how social media works, especially Facebook. This is the platform that I teach people how to use. It's what I've built my business to millions on. People don't experience how you post on social media or how we post on social media the way we post. We all get our own personal news feed. Facebook feeds us what we want to see in the format we'd like to consume it in. So if I do one post that's a reel and one post that's a post, and they're all sales posts, I can post 3 times a day, every day. And everyone who knows me still wouldn't see it, right? And the algorithm, that's a whole different training, but I want you to understand that we get fed what we want to see based on preference. So if you only do one post a week and it's a post with a picture of you, people who most likely like reels or videos probably won't ever see your offer. And this isn't even about having diversity in posts. It's just saying, like, if the more frequently you make offers, the higher probability that someone who needs what you have to offer can buy. You give them more opportunity to buy. What I'm talking about is literally a direct invitation to work with you. No story, no flowery language. Hey, girl, I see you over there trying to do this. And not by the time you get to the end, then you have an offer. No pomp and circumstance, but just a straight, clear, here's what I offer. This is how much it is. Here's who it's for. Bam, here's how you get it. Not many people do that. If you did that every single day, the game would change for you. And it could be in so many different ways. It could be an invitation to do a sales call, a consultation, discovery call with you. It could be you selling a course or a physical product that you have for sale. It could be you posting an opening for a VIP day that you have available, for an intensive that you have available, you posting about an upcoming event that you have, you posting and inviting people to join you in your higher level programs. It could be you posting your done for you service. It doesn't really matter. It can be anything and it can be all the things. And it can be all the things at the same time. Another self-imposed rule, right? But what you want to do is make more offers and sell more often. So I have a current client who's been with me for about 2 months now. And Jessica, if you haven't seen her case study, it's pinned to the top of my video. You can watch it. She had an amazing audience. Her YouTube channel is like 100. I think she just crossed 100,000 on YouTube. And she was delivering amazing value, training, teaching. She had a following. People loved to hear from her. But her offer, how to work with her selling portion, was buried in the back or the bottom of her content. That was the first thing I noticed when we did her sales call. I did a quick review of everything. And I was listening to videos and I'm like, okay, I have to get all the way to the end for her to even invite. And it was like a quick, 15-second, hey, if you want to book a call at the end of it. What we did is we brought that to the forefront, and she's doing it more often. And then poof, within 3 weeks, she had made 50K. Within 5 weeks, she's almost at $200,000, right? And it's the most she's ever made in that amount of time. She celebrated her first six-figure month, all within a short amount of time because she leaned into the courage to be bold about her offer, to be bold about the way that people can take the next step with her. So trust me, when you start posting directly what the offer is, without this feeling like I got to say all this stuff, it's not about convincing people. There's posts for belief shifting, there's posts for telling your story, there's posts for connecting with people, there's other posts that you'll put around this to celebrate, to support this. But you really need, on a regular basis, a straight up offer post. Straight up selling every single day if you need to sell. If you want to make money, every day. When you're launching something, every day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day, right? I see people who are launching something and they post an offer once every other week and wonder why they can't get people into their program. If you do this every day and you post it with a limiter or some sense of urgency, like a limited quantity, limited time frame, an opportunity that just came up, someone will buy. I did it today. I posted a straight up offer post about Game on Live, no flowery language about what it is, and directly after someone bought a ticket. Directly after that, someone commented to get a link to purchase a ticket. And so what I'm curious about is, as you're listening to me, what rules come up for you around selling every day? And how do you feel like you could lean more into courage in this area in your business? Right? What's one action step that you can commit to taking? And it doesn't even have to be selling every day. You could start by making sure that you're selling every week, making sure you're selling at all. Some of you are hoping you're going to demonstrate how smart you are and it's going to make more people come to you. Some of you are running your business solely by referral. There's all kinds of things going on, right? What's one action step that you can commit to where you can lean more into courage in this area? All right, power play number two. Power play number two, sell at a higher level. Sell at a higher level. This is power play number two, sell at a higher level. Your ideal clients, I call these your power clients, the ones who will pay you a premium to experience the level of transformation that you could bring into their lives. The truth is, for most of you, they intimidate the heck out of you. You know you're meant to serve at a higher level, but when you think about who those people are, whether they're athletes or professional athletes, or they're famous people, or they're people who run larger organizations, whatever it is about them, they're powerful in stature. You know you're called to serve at that level. You're meant to serve at a higher level, the level that calls you to pull down on your giftings, where you have to channel your genius directly from God to work with them. That scares you. That scares you because you don't often use it. That's the first thing. But it's also comfortable to work with the low level problems. The ones that you know that you can solve with just your head, with your everyday knowledge of things that you do, that's comfortable for you. It's almost like you want to rescue people. It's like, oh, let me go help these people. But what's required of you to make more money and to move into the millions is to serve at the highest level that you can. And sometimes it's fear of rejection, right? We don't want to put an offer out there to somebody amazing and then they say no, because then there's a story of, oh, I'm not ready for that level. What's wrong with what I'm offering? Maybe I'm not who they're looking for. So we have all these stories. So if we don't offer at that level and we just get the yeses here at the lower level, the amount of people that have told me that they don't have high level people around them, I'm like, it's not that you don't have high level people who are willing to invest around you. You're not making offers to them and you're not even teaching or talking to them. You're talking to the problems of people who are either in struggle. Sometimes you're solving broke people problems, but you're definitely solving the lowest level, lowest hanging fruit problem that you have, and not the highest level problems where people will invest more. And you get a little fearful around that. And sometimes it's because you straight up have imposter syndrome. And here's what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is imposters don't have imposter syndrome. They just too busy out there being an imposter to be bothered about thinking about being caught being an imposter. They're sold on their own stuff. Right? So imposters don't have imposter syndrome. The mere fact that you're even thinking that someone would think that you're an imposter would let me know that you're not. So we can just let that go if you have the courage to do so. I want to share something with you because What happens when you're unwilling to sell at a higher level is you're literally putting a limit on what you can do next. And here's the thing. There's two things that I want to say about this because I did this to myself. So one of them was about selling to people who were my highest level clients. I work with leaders of leaders. My clients are brilliant badasses. They are people who run their own communities. In fact, they don't need me, they choose me, right? It's not that they need me to teach them strategy or do those things. They need a them for them. They're like, I need a me for me. So I get to reflect back to them who they be in the world, the power, all of those things. I'm holding that for them because that's what they do for other people in the world. That's the difference. For a long time, I was afraid to serve at that level. I didn't think I could measure up. I'm like, what happens if it doesn't go right or it's wrong or all of those things? That's one piece of it. The other piece of it is I used to put a limit on the level of success I was even going for. You've heard the statement, if you shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. Now, this isn't about setting pie in the sky goals. I did a post the other day where I said, some of you aren't achieving your goals. You're not even achieving the goals you want right now because you're not setting the bar high enough. Your internal everything is like, we were made for more than this, and I just don't got time to show up for this. So yeah, we're going to play the small game because the game I really want to play is bigger than you're allowing me to play right now. You're never going to get there doing that. I used to lie to myself and to others verbally and say that I did not want to build $1 million business because I had tried and failed so many times that I was over it. And so I just decided to settle for smaller. So when people would ask me what I wanted to do, I'd be like, and this is when I was at six figures. It was at low six figures, like the first 1 in 200,000. I'd be like, oh, I'm just trying to get to 500,000. That would be great. 500,000. And if I could do 700,000, that would be amazing because I had made a decision that millions were just out of my league. And because of that, I was hovering around the couple of $100,000 mark until I got honest with myself about my desires and literally started saying I wanted to create $1 million business and then being open to whatever showed up. We hit $1 million business in a year, right? Not just sales, cash. Right? We hit $1 million in a month, $1 million in a day. Because I'm honest now. Here's what happens when you're not honest with yourself about your desires and your goals. You put an income lid on what you can create. And no matter how hard you try, no matter how much work you put in, time you put in, team that you hire, you keep hitting the ceiling because it's a glass ceiling. It's an invisible lid. So there's a story. There was a scientific study that was done with fleas. And what they did is they put the fleas in a jar. And what they know is that fleas can jump about 8 inches high. So they were able to jump out of this jar. But when they put a closed lid on there, like a glass lid that they can still see through for 3 days, they would never jump higher than the lid's height. Did you hear what I just said? They take the lid off. And those same fleas that could jump 8 inches high and jump out of that jar in the beginning would never jump higher than that lid's height. Doesn't matter how much they want to be outside. It conditioned them. It conditioned them. And it got even crazier. What they realized is that the offspring of that same flea would mimic the parent's behavior. They would never jump out of the lid, even though they had capability, until they put a fresh flea that never had that experience in, and they jumped out the lid, and they will do it again. So one, who you surround yourself with matters. But I want you to understand this lid that you're putting on yourself. Just by deciding that, hey, I'm just going to play this small. Deciding that, hey, I'm only going to solve this problem because it feels comfortable for me here. What if you experimented? I had a friend share this one time and it blew my mind and I loved it. Loved it. What if you went around and instead of hedging against hedging against not being capable of serving at your next highest level, or the story that you're not quite sure what to do or how to serve those people or what to say. I've seen people not return calls to higher level clients who have reached out to them for months because they're afraid. And that might be you. Maybe you. You're shocked why they're reaching out to you. What if you collect impressive no's? Like, I'm just going to make Oprah an offer. Making this up. Somebody shared this with me once, and I was like, yes, I love this. Right? What if that was your goal to collect the most impressive no that you could? Because the bigger you play, the bigger you win. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. You are required to sell at a higher level if you want to get to a higher level. And the deal is, this is where courage is required. Who you are now and how you decide and operate and offer and lead can't do this big thing that you desire to do. The capacity is in there. The makings is in the DNA, but the behavior patterns, right? The glass lid, the what you do again and again, who you are becoming can do it. So what happens, or what has to happen? What edge of courage do you have to lean into to become her now, to become him now? Let's think about that one thing that you're trying to sell. Trying. Yoda says there is no try, there's only do. Your highest level thing. People are like, I have a 6-figure offer. They've never offered it. They just put it together, right? So the one thing that you're trying to sell, or the thing that you have that you haven't even pulled the trigger on just yet because it really scares you deep down inside. You're still meandering around what's supposed to go in it and all the things because it scares you. What I want you to do is identify what thought pattern, behavior pattern, fear that's coming up for you around it. And I want you to write it down and release it. Name the thing. Verbally say it. Write it down. Let it go. Release it. Rip the paper up. Burn it. Get it out of your house. Throw it in the trash. Really release it so that you can show up in a bigger way. Power play number 3. Sell faster. Make money faster. Most people think they need to make more money. But the truth is you need to make money faster. You need to learn how to make money faster. Part of collapsing timelines around your revenue goals is moving the artificial limits we place on how fast we can make money. And we put those limits on without even realizing that we've done it. You must remove these artificial limits. What I want you to do is use Parkinson's law to your advantage. Parkinson's law states that a task will expand to the time we allow for it. So if you tell yourself that I'm going to make $1 million in 10 years, baby, it's going to be 10 years before you make $1 million. If you give yourself 30 days to hit your income goal, this is why some of you don't do anything all month long. And then the last week or 2 weeks or 10 days of the month, boom, boom, boom. It's like magic. It all happens. It's Parkinson's law at work. What if you flip that on its lid to get it done in the first 5 days of the month? It's what a lot of my clients end up doing. They remove these self-imposed limitations and go, what if I just did it now? Right? If we go back to Jessica with her, she had a goal to do $50,000 in 90 days. She did it in 3 weeks. And then she's just been adding on top of that, right? So use Parkinson's law to your advantage and sell faster. And here's the thing. It's not just the amount of money you make, but it's how fast you can make it. And what happens is millions over a lifetime. So think about it this way. Millions made over your lifetime is very different than creating $1 million in a year, which is very different than creating $1 million in a single day. How would your life change if you were open to fast money, fast sales that came faster than you could think of? Like, we have this self-imposed limitation and we don't even think about the ceiling that we've put for ourselves that, okay, I remember for me, it was like 12 clients is the max I could have in a mastermind. And for a long time, I'd have 8 to 10 clients, sometimes 12. When I released that limitation, we brought in almost 60 people into our mastermind that year, right? It's not just about making money. It's not just about making money fast, right? It's not just about small money, but it's about big money, life-changing money, allowing that to flow to you. So how would your life change if you were open to making money fast? Society has us focused on avoiding get rich quick schemes. So something inside of us tells us if we make money fast, it's because we won't be able to hold it. I even see people's marketing that say that. Like, oh, it's about the slow and steady business. And I'm like, yeah, there's a long game and there's a short game, and both are required to succeed in business. It's not all a long game. And what happens is the majority of people are playing only the long game. And so they're not able to make money fast enough to hit the income goal to get to the $1 million mark, to do a 6-figure month, because your brain is telling you that's too fast. That's too fast. Society has us wired and believing that fast money is bad. It's a get rich quick scheme that if we make the money too fast, we won't be able to hold on to it. And in my strategy, we don't focus on get rich quick schemes. We're like, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It is a get rich quick strategy. We're doing it on purpose, right? And we're building a foundation. So make peace with fast money. Be open to the possibility of it coming sooner. Map out your month and activities to get it done sooner rather than later. Right? Put more of your high volume money making activities on the front end of your business instead of on the back end of your business, on the front end of the year instead of the back end of the year. We operate like life is forever. Like we have all the time in the world to make a difference, to have an impact, to create the income level that we want so we can leave the legacy that we desire. And the truth is, time is finite. And the older you get, the more finite it's looking, right? Like we just got all the time. Here's what I want to remind you. Hitting your next level income goals require becoming, and you get to decide to become faster, right? How can you be open to the possibility of making fast money? What has to shift in your life for you to regulate your nervous system around that? For you to get comfortable with the fact that you could wake up today and have a 6-figure sale. So, those are the 3 things. I'm going to repeat them again. Your 3 power shifts for the day is to sell every day, sell at higher levels, and sell faster. Lean into courage in those 3 areas, and your whole life will change. And here's what I want to say. My gardeners are right by my door right now. Here's what I want to say. If today's topic challenged you in any way, shape, or form, if it gave you a single perspective shift, then you need to be in the room for Game On Live, because this is the type of stuff we're going to be leaning into for you to shift who you be on a cellular level so that you're able to create the kind of income impact and influence that you desire to create in the world. On day 1, we're going to go deeper into this as we tackle your $1 million identity. And your identity isn't just about charging more or even selling more. It's about a deeper, faster, and permanent way to transform yourself. It's about you getting to your results by making powerful shifts on a DNA cellular level. That it changes who you be and how you show up from your core. This is the core of being able to break that income plateau, to create your millions, to create that first, second, third consecutive 6-figure months. Will you be one of the power players who says yes and steps into the room and transforms with me this year? Game On Live event is where you want to go to grab your seat. It's November 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be super powerful. There are discount rooms available. Our room discount ends tomorrow. So I want to make sure that I say that. It ends tomorrow. So if you're planning on coming, get your room, get your seat, make a decision sooner rather than later. Okay. There is a bonus for everyone that books a room. So we're giving you a 30-minute business upgrade session. We're giving you a 2-hour post-conference Q&A mastermind session with me. We're giving you immediate access where I'm opening up my Power Vault and giving you access to my 4-part accelerated overflow series, which is super powerful. I have not sold this since I created it early last year. How to get into not just overflow, but accelerated overflow, getting money coming to you as quickly as possible. So you get access to that 4-part series. And you also are going to get access to 2 wealth acceleration audios. One is called Power Player. And the other one is The Frequency of Possibility. Super powerful daily affirmation, wealth acceleration audios that you can listen to that help you to shift who you're being on the inside out. Plus, everybody who comes to Game On Live gets 3 Bring a Friend tickets. That means these tickets are for your friends so that you don't have to grow alone and you can bring somebody alongside of you because of your investment. They are fully refundable tickets, so they pay $4.97 to grab the ticket. And when they show up at the event, they get a check back. So if this is pulling you and you're like, you know what, this is something that I need. I feel like right now, this is a crucial moment in my business and in my life where getting exposed and having a space where I can expand my capacity to receive more money faster, up level my leadership of self in the way that we're talking about now, lean into courage more in my business on a daily, monthly, quarterly basis. Get yourself to Game On Live event. Go to gameonliveevent.com. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys for our next session next time. Thank you so much for watching my show, my channel. Here's what I want you to do. If you really love what you've been listening to, I want you to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. No, really, leave a comment. Like right now. I'm not gonna stop talking until you leave a comment. Seriously.